Workflows are the core of toggles. They bundle your template, subject line, attachments, and recipients into a single click. So let's go ahead and create a new workflow. You'll get a dialog here that we need to fill out, starting with the workflow name. So let's call this client meeting follow-up. And you can add any description that you'd like. And then we could use tags if we want to categorize the workflow, or we can organize it with folders. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as is for now, but you could go ahead and use that for any organization needs. Next, we have hot phrase. So this is a shortcut key when you're composing the email within Outlook, and if you have the toggles for Outlook add and open, by typing that hot phrase, it will trigger you to use that workflow. It finds it, and it also will recommend you to do so. We'll skip that for now, so let's continue. And this is where we get to the actions. So we first click add action, and then we have our different action types. So we know for this workflow, we're going to want to set the subject line. So let's go ahead and add a subject, and let's say great meeting, client for, let's do first name as a variable. And here's what we discussed. So we have the subject, it's going to use a variable, so we'll be prompted when we use this workflow to fill that in. And we'll just leave that as is. So next, let's go ahead and add an email body template. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new template. If you have a template that exists, you could go ahead and find that. But let's go ahead and click create new template. So we get another little dialog internal to that one. And we can go ahead and start typing what we want the email body to say. So I'm going to use the same first name variable here. And it was great connecting with you today. As promised, I've attached our overview document for your reference. Next steps, and let's make that a variable as well. And let's close it out with looking forward to continuing the conversation. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. And then I'm going to use something we call a me variable, which is going to require me to set it one time, but then it's stored on my profile, and it'll always insert that same value in any future uses of any workflow. So now we have our template filled out. We're going to click over here to the variables tab, and we see the variables that we added. So first name, we're going to keep that as text, and we'll leave it no default value because we want to enforce filling that in. Next steps, let's go ahead and make that a drop down. And here we can add a couple different options. You could also allow custom values, which would be, if an option is not in the list, they could add one as they wish. So I'm just gonna paste a couple options in here that fit this template. And it's a really nice feature because then we can allow the user to select exactly what they want from a list of approved options. So let's go ahead and add 4 of them. And for me, the me variable here is, you can't change the type of that. It's always going to fill in with that value that you set on your profile. So let's go ahead and click Save Template. And let's add another action here. Let's add a recipient. So I want to send this I want to CC it to myself when this workflow is used. And then last, we said we were going to attach a document. So I'm going to go ahead and add a fixed attachment here. So I'm just going to drop a attachment here, and I could change the name. It doesn't matter what it is when you upload it. You can change how it gets attached. So we're just going to leave it as toggles overview, and then we'll click continue. And here on the last page, or the last step here, we have sharing. So right now the workflow is being created as a personal workflow, only visible to me. If I'm part of a team, I can share that with a specific group or the entire organization if I'd like. So let's go ahead and create that workflow. And now we have our workflow created, client meeting follow-up.